13 of our online Algebra 2 course. Today we're looking at graphing linear equations. So first of all, a reminder of what a linear equation is. It just means we have a y equals something with an x, but it's not an exponent. We don't have an x squared or any higher exponent there. And we're going to look at three ways to do this today. We can make a table of values, we can use the intercepts, or we can use y equals mx plus b, our slope-intercept form. So option number one, you might remember from geometry, is that all we need to create a line are 2 points. So one option is to make a table of values. We've got an equation y equals negative 2x plus 1. I'm just going to select a couple of x values to substitute in, and we'll put those values in for x to come up with some y values. So if I put 0 in for x right here, I'd have 0 plus 1, which means y would equal 1. If we substitute 1 in for x, we'd have negative 2 times 1 plus 1, that'd be negative 1. Continuing on with my substitution, we get negative 3, negative 5, negative 7. And then I can plot those points and connect the dots. So 1, negative 1, 2, negative 3, 3, negative 5, and 4, negative 7. Again, we only need 2 points to make a line, but by doing additional points, it helps us to make sure we're not making a mistake. If we were to start to put those points on and see that they're not actually lining up to make a straight line, that'd be an indication that something was off in our calculations. Option number 2 for drawing a line, or for graphing a line, is to use the intercepts. Intercepts are simply the values we get when x and y equals 0. So very similar to the table strategy, except I'm going to be very selective with my points. 1 point is going to be when x equals 0, 1 point is when y equals 0. These work nicely when we have an equation in this form where the x and the y are on the same side of the equation, because our substitution gets pretty easy here. If I put 0 in for y, this part of my equation goes away. You can see that 3x equals 6, so x would have to equal 2. If we put 0 in for x, this portion of the equation goes away. We see negative 2 times y equals 6, so y would have to be negative 3. We can plot both of those points, 0, negative 3, 2, 0, and connect our points to generate our line. So we've seen we can create a table of values, we can use the intercepts, and then finally the third option is to use slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. You recall that the slope is sometimes talked about as the rise over run of a line, or how far our y values are increasing compared to how far our x values are increasing. Our formula for that's the difference of the y values divided by the difference of our x values. So that's going to be the m value inside of our slope. So in this example, we see negative 2/3 is our slope. What that tells us is that for every 3 units to the right we go on the line, we will go 2 units down in order to return to the line. 4 tells us where our intercept is. That means if we count 4 units up on the y-axis, we have a point that crosses the y-axis. So let's use this form to graph a line. We've got 1/2, that should be 1/2 x, plus 3 equals y, negative 1/2 x. Let's start with the 3. Remember, that's my intercept. That's saying we have a point at 0, 3. That slope of negative 1/2 tells us for every 2 units to the right we're going, because it's negative, we'll go down 1 point. So 2 units right, 1 down, 2 over, 1 down, 2 over, 1 down. And then connect our points to generate our line. Thanks for watching today. 3 ways to graph: creating a table of values, using the intercepts, or using slope-intercept form.